Hi, JNM here with a new Blender tutorial in which I show you how to create a base mesh for sculpting by using a reference image. This is Blender 2.81. I snap the view to front orthographic and then I drag an image into the viewport. This is a tombstone that I downloaded from textures.com. The link can be found in the description below. And what you can see here is an empty object that has this image attached. Alright, first I will enable the screencast keys so that you can see which keys I'm pressing. That's better, and now I'll go ahead and center this empty object. First I press the G key and then Z to move it a tiny bit upwards. Okay, and then G and X to center it along the X-axis. And I use the grid as orientation to find the center. Alright, that's great, but I push it back a little along the Y-axis, so that I don't get any Z fighting, or in this case Y fighting, when I add an object. Okay, now we can start modeling. I snap the view again to front auto, and then I press Shift and A to add a plane. I press R and X, then type in 90 to rotate the plane 90 degrees around the X-axis, then Ctrl and the R key to add an edge loop. Then I box select these vertices and press the delete key to remove them. Okay, after that switch to the modifiers tab and add a mirror modifier. And now we can start moving around the vertices to create the basic silhouette of the mesh. Before I do this, I enable show X-ray so that we can see the reference behind the mesh. And then I box select and press G and the constraint keys X or Z to move them to the matching positions of the reference image. That's quite simple. I cover here the whole tombstone along the Z axis. Okay, and then I press the K key to cut into the mesh. I will need 2 cuts and then I'm going to extrude the right part. I select this edge and press the E key to extrude along the X-axis. And as you can see, it is extruded to the other side as well because we added the mirror modifier. I try to match the cross shape like so and bring this vertex a bit to the left. And I think we can go with this shape. Okay, pretty nice, but now we have to add the round parts, and I decided to use a boolean operation for this. So I switch to object mode and add a cylinder object. Again, I rotate it 90 degrees around the X-axis, press R, X and type in 90. Then I tap into edit mode and scale it down by pressing the S key. Alright, with the view snapped, I press the G key and move it to a position like here. Enable show X-ray and adjust the position and size according to the reference. Okay, this looks good, and now I press Shift and D to duplicate this cylinder and move it downwards so that it matches the reference as good as possible. It doesn't have to be perfect because the reference isn't perfect as well. Here you can see the cylinders in perspective mode. And the next thing I do is to go to object mode, select the cross shape. I will rename it to cross. And now I go ahead and add a boolean modifier to this object. Here it is, boolean. The operation is set to difference, that's fine. And for the cutter object, I select the cylinders. Great, then I apply this modifier. And look at this, I get a nice cut on the left side as well, because of the mirror modifier which is still active, and then I can delete the cutters. Okay, now we have the basic shape, but I want to get rid of the NGons because this prevents us from adding a subdivision surface modifier later on. Before I select these edges, press F3 to find dissolve edges, then they are removed. And then I will connect vertices and use the knife tool to add cuts to turn this into a quad geometry. Before I do this, let's have a look at the vertices here for the rings, for the circles. I think some of these are too close together, which could lead to bad results when we add a bevel modifier later on for the mesh. So I select these and press Alt and M to merge them. Okay, we can go with that. And the next step is to connect the vertices that can be connected. For example, these ones here, I select them and press the J key to connect them. And I do this now for all these vertices. Alright, now I press the K key and use the knife tool to add cuts where we still have NGons. For each one, draw the cutting line and then press the Enter key. I speed this up a bit, because it's the same procedure for all the vertices and it takes some time. Okay, looks good. Then I press the A key to select all, and after that I press E to extrude out the mesh. And that's the cross shape. Now I select the faces at the bottom to extrude the foot. So first I enable face selection, then I select this face at the bottom and press E to extrude. But I see that we have to enable clipping for the mirror modifier, so that the vertices at the center will be merged. You can see this especially when I scale the face, when I press the S key. Okay, and after that I extrude one more time, and this is finally the mesh that I was going for. Okay, now the next step, I disable the image, the reference, we don't need it at the moment. Then I select the object and go to the modifiers tab and apply the mirror modifier. I remember that I forgot to enable clipping for the mirror modifier in the beginning, so I select all in edit mode and search for merge by distance to remove the duplicated vertices. Now we have a good topology. For that we can add a bevel modifier. For the limit method I check angle so that these edges are not taken into account for creating bevels. And now you can play a little bit around with the profile and the width to create a nice beveled object. I add this bevel modifier because I want to add a subsurface modifier after that to create a nice shading, and I want the edges to be clean and crisp. We have some small shading artifacts here, because I forgot to remove some NGons, but it's not too important, we can smooth this out later on in sculpt mode. Okay, now I add a subdivision surface modifier and set the subdivisions to at least 3. And as you can see, the shading is really smooth now, and that's a good starting point when you sculpt, because otherwise you have to cope with shading issues in sculpt mode that can be avoided when you start with a nicely shaded mesh. Alright, the next thing we have to add is the ring. So I add a circle and again rotate it 90 degrees around the x-axis, like that. After that I press G and Z to move it upwards, and then I press S to scale it till it fits the reference. That's good enough. Then I go to vertex selection in edit mode, press E followed by Enter and then S to scale it down. Again, that's the basic shape of the ring. I press A to select all and then E again to extrude the mesh. Again I press A to select the whole mesh, then G and Y to move it along the Y-axis to the middle of the cross. Great, now I will again add a bevel to this ring, so I go to Edge Selection mode. And you can double click the edges to select them and hold the Shift key down. And to add a bevel, I press Ctrl and B and I move the mouse wheel then to add one more segment. Okay, now it's time to add again a subdivision surface modifier to add a smooth shading. And that's it, the base mesh is created. In the next part I will show you how to use this base mesh for a stylized hard surface sculpting. So stay tuned. If you like J&M, then don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. If you have any questions, then add these to the comments below and I will try to answer these as best as I can. And if you want to support me, then think about being my patron. This would really help a lot. Thanks for watching guys, and I see you soon here on J&M.